Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you haven't, please consider subscribing and helping us feed a hungry hippo. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And today we're going to be talking about the poop parade. What is the poop parade? The poop parade is going to be a new series on this channel. It's going to come out once a month. So at the end of the month, when I do all of my wrap-up videos, I do the plush and the jeans that sold on eBay and the what sold on Poshmark and Boxery. I will also have this fits video every month at the end called the Poop Parade. We buy a lot or most of our inventory wholesale or in bulk lots. Probably about 99% of our inventory is from wholesale or bulk lots. We like to order a lot of stuff that gets delivered right to our front door. We get, I think, a better cost per piece that way. We get a lot more items that way. It's just, for us, we don't like to leave the house. We don't like to thrift. You guys know that. So for us, it makes sense to do it, especially up north where we live near Pittsburgh. It can get cold here in the winters. The roads can get very icy, very snowy. We can get snowed in. Sometimes it gets like really frigid cold to where you don't want to leave the house because it hurts to breathe. So we have accustomed ourselves to getting a lot of these wholesale and bulk buys. And then once you get spoiled with those, even in the spring and summer, sometimes it's hard to go back out thrifting. We do go out sometimes. We are blessed here. We have 3 different thrift stores that run 99-cent days, and that's where we can really go load up on a lot of our bread and butter items that we sell in volume. But for the most part, most of what we order is wholesaler bulk lots. And you guys see me do the unboxings on here all the time. We do jeans, plush, jewelry, comics. We order all of these things bulk buys. And the thing with ordering items like that, a lot of times you're going to get poop. In fact, when you order bulk remote controls, which I didn't mention, but we do those as well, with electronics and stuff, when you order the big Gaylords and the big lots, you can almost guarantee that 10% of the inventory inside right off the top is going to be garbage. And then you have to go through and test everything and make sure it works. And it's probably another 10% that you're going to throw away. And then you have like 80% viable pieces that you can sell. I don't find that so much with the jeans, the plush, the jewelry, and the comics. Occasionally, and not often, I'll have one pair of jeans with a broken zipper or one plushie that's ripped, or Keith will get a comic that's destroyed that can't be sold, or jewelry that's, broken. It's not as often with those types of items, but what is common is the poop items. So you get a Gaylord, a plush, and you pulled out all your Build-A-Bears and your Disneys and your Douglas Cuddle toys and all of the plushies that are worth money, and you get to the bottom and you have some Beanie Babies, or you have some really low-end bread and butter brands, or the really tiny plushies like the keychains and that are just poop. I sell that. I've been teaching and preaching that on this channel for years, that we pinch every single penny of profit that we can out of every purchase. Unless an item is absolutely damaged, destroyed, ripped, stained, torn, just beyond selling, if it's viable, we're going to sell it. The trick is not to prioritize the poop. And I've talked about this on the channel, but I want to touch on it very briefly on how we handle the poop items. They should never be a priority. They're not going to make you a lot of money, and they do take just as much time as the good items. So you don't want to spend too much time on them. So what we do is prioritize. With the thread up boxes, it's a little bit easier. I can set aside the money brands and the bread and butter brands and make sure that I'm measuring and photographing those first into our List Perfectly catalog for Keith to build the listings and push them out. We can also, with List Perfectly, leave each other notes. So I can say these are first, these are bolos in the title, so he can see those when I'm doing the pictures. And then I save the poop for last. When it comes to plush and jewelry poop, I have separate boxes. So I have a big box I keep in here that I throw all my poop plush into. And I also have a big box for electronic plush, because I'm not going to sit here and open one plush with my little screwdriver and test it and get the batteries out. That to me is a waste of time, and it doesn't fall in. I think my screwdriver is actually over there, so I can't show it to you, but I have one of those little tiny ones. I'm always teaching about batch work. Well, if you're taking pictures of a ton of plush, you don't want to stop and just test one. So I have one big box, I throw all my poop plush in. One big box, I throw all my electronic plush in. And a smaller box, I throw poopy jewelry in. And then every once in a while, I'll come up here, put a movie on, and take pictures of all the poop plush or the poop jewelry. Or I'll sit and test all the electronic plush and make sure they work. And I can, again, when I take photos of them, put notes in the List Perfectly catalog for Keith. Tested and works, requires 3 AA batteries. Tested and doesn't work, etc. And he can determine the price based on whether or not it works. And drink. But we don't prioritize the poop at all. I will wait until that big box fills up and maybe we're in between thread up deliveries or it's snowing and we can't get out thrifting. We don't have something to work on. That's what you want to save the poop for. You want to save it for a rainy day when you don't have enough items to photograph and list due to whatever reasons. Or if your box is full. I mean, it's okay to take a day to work on your poop as long as you have a lot of poop to work on. And then you can sit and do the whole box. But there should be steps along the way for prioritization. So that box has to fill up before I'll sit and take those photos. Then I put a note in each listing. Let me show you what I mean, because if you don't use List Perfectly, you're like, what is she talking about? So I'll show you at the end what I'm talking about with that. But I'll put a note that these are poop. And so when Keith goes into our catalog, he can see these are poop. So he will focus on other things and build those listings. And then when he goes to actually push listings live or schedule them out on eBay, he can prioritize by price. And that way the poop falls to the bottom. So it's not prioritized to be photographed. It gets saved in a box. Then it sits in our catalog, clearly marked as poop. It's the last thing he'll work on if there's nothing else. And then it's the last thing that actually gets made live because he sorts by highest price to lowest when he's listing. You guys, if you're not, let me make myself real small. If you're not using List Perfectly, you are doing yourself a disservice. So he can go in here and when he wants to list, he can sort our unlisteds by price. And you can see we've got some really good money brand jeans sitting here. That should probably go out first ahead of these poop plushies and comic books. And when we take pictures, they go right into our catalog right here. They're waiting to be built. And he can kind of determine by the notes that I leave him. Sometimes I put them in the SKU line. Sometimes I put them over here in the notes. If it's poop, he just leaves it alone. And he builds everything else. Then when you make the listings live, you go by price. So there's like a 3-step process for poop to be deprioritized at all levels of our listing process. It's a last resort for photos. It's a last resort to even build the listings. And it's a last resort to make those listings live. But they will eventually get listed and sell. So the whole purpose behind the poop parade videos is to once a month recap all of the poop that we sold on our 3 main platforms, Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay, and figure out the exact amount of profit that we made on all of the poop that we sold, just to kind of show you guys how much profit we make on items that other people would redonate or throw away. And we're not really spending that much extra time on them. Seriously. I sit down maybe once every 2 or 3 months with a box of poop and a movie on a Saturday afternoon. Oh, there's another step of prioritization. So we do work Tuesday through Saturday. Our days off are Sunday, Monday. We do shipping Monday mornings and then take the rest of the day off. Unless it's a holiday and then we get the whole day off. But Tuesday through Friday are days where we are focusing on taking pictures of great inventory, building listings, pushing them out, cross-posting, making videos, doing content, keeping up with social media. And Saturdays are kind of like our catch-up day. So we call those our office days. So those are the days if I have to do an inventory audit, which I'm in the middle of a Plush one, those are days where if we didn't get enough listings built, we're not that far ahead of the game. We like to keep We like to keep listings scheduled on eBay a week ahead of time. We like to have so many in the bank and most perfectly, so many pictures taken. If stuff needs to go down to the garage, if I need to catch up on YouTube comments, you get the drift. Saturdays are like our office days where we just kind of catch up and prepare ourselves for the next week as well. So if we had a really great week and we got everything done that we wanted to get done, then we can spend Saturday actually prepping ahead of time to set ourselves up for really great success for the next week. But a lot of times, Saturdays, we've done everything we want to do, and I've still got like 4 hours left in the workday after lunch. I'll put a movie on, and then I'll just spend the afternoon taking pictures of all the poop. And maybe 3 months after that, Keith will be building the listings, and maybe another 3 months they'll get pushed out. They do take a long time to go through our processes because they're not a priority. And on Saturdays, I still prioritize from the week prior. I have to make sure that I'm where I wanted to be and I hit all my goals. And if I did, then I have to make sure that I can get ahead of the game for the next week and set myself up for success. And again, poop is at the bottom of those priorities. But once every couple of months, I'm in here on a Saturday watching horror movies, taking pictures of poop. Once every 3 to 6 months, Keith's building listings of poop. So all along the way, all along our processes, poop is there. Poop gets worked on, but it's never a priority. It's always at the bottom of the list. But we do pinch every penny, like I said, out of our wholesale and our bulk buys, and we make as much profit as we can. The cost of goods when you buy stuff like that is so cheap. Like our remotes are pennies. They come out to like 1 and 2 cents a remote. Why wouldn't we sell the $8 remotes? Our comics are like $1 a piece. Why wouldn't we sell the $12 comics? You don't want to prioritize them, but you want to get them up. So I had this idea. I would like to see how much money I actually profit every month on my poop. How much money am I making on items that most people would throw away or redonate? And remember, I'm not spending a lot of time or a lot of effort or even prioritizing these items. It's just that they eventually get listed so I can make all that profit. So at the end of each month, we're going to take a look at the poop parade. I'm going to call all those little guys to poop parade. We're going to see how much profit I made. And remember, depending on how you file your taxes, I am not a certified accountant, and I'm not a tax preparer, so don't take any advice from me. But depending on how you file your taxes, a lot of times if you write off the $50 jeans box that you bought in December and you find yourself listing them the next year, that poop was already figured in those prices. So you've already written it off. You might as well make the profit, right? So I just want to see how much I'm making every month on these items. And I'm not spending a lot of time on them. I spend most time on items that are going to make us money. Definitely, we always try to do first in, first out with our inventory, but we also prioritize. When I go through a thread-up box, those brands get pulled out first. When I go through a plush box, those money plushies get pulled out first. So that's going to be the new series. It's going to be called the Poop Parade. We'll do it once a month at the end of the month and just kind of look at my poops and what I'm doing with my poops. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know now. Let me know now. I was about to say, let me know now or forever hold your peace. Stop me from doing this series if you'd like. Not really, because I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this series because it sounds like fun to me. But if you have any questions or whatever, put them down in the comments below and go be productive. Prioritize your non-poop, but don't throw your poop in the trash. I'll see you next time. You guys are the best. Bye.